User error. I usually put us up on the back side, but then I was messing around with crap today. So
Oopsie.
Whoopsie. Anyway, welcome to Friday Eve.
It is.
We should do that. That'll be like the new intro. Anyway.
Okay.
So
I'm looking forward to Friday, the day after Friday.
Yes.
The day after Friday? You mean Saturday?
That's it. The weekend. And I don't mean the music group.
Yes. Well, welcome, everyone. Welcome. You've almost made it through the week.
It's a long weekend coming up.
Yep, long weekend coming up. So hopefully this will help you, give you that last bit of energy you need to push through Friday. Work day.
Yeah.
Boo.
Yeah.
And before we get started, everyone needs to say a quick prayer for Peachy. She still has the hookworms, and now she has a UDI.
Or UTI.
Or a UTI. And it's just causing her such a heartache and problems. Peachosaurus.
So anyway, but we welcome everybody in. So we start welcoming people in.
Yes, let's do that. First up in the chat, we have, hey, just a girl on her porch who's sitting on her porch.
Hello there.
So go check out her channel and give her some support and love.
I know, it's been a minute.
I had some people asking about you the other day.
She's still broken.
I'm still broken, but I can now
Stand.
walk a little bit.
Shuffle.
Shuffle,
Well,
yeah.
it's more like shuffle. Like she'd be the queen of shuffleboard right now.
Mhm.
Yep. Next up, we have yo. It's Danny Dizzle, the spectacular
Hello.
supporter. Thanks for coming in, Danny.
Who's up?
Who's up next?
Tim.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure.
Yep. Oh, and then we've got some new in here. We've seen each other on the morning show a couple of times. Welcome in, traveling with Josiane.
Hello there.
Hi.
Hello.
So thank you for coming in.
It's nice to have some new fresh blood in the house.
Yes, absolutely. Jeremy! Wait, they have their assigned ones.
Oh, I'm sorry. You added more. Oh, okay. Sorry.
It's Jeremy.
Okay.
All right, and let's see here. Who else has made it in? Anybody else?
Super
else?
chat.
Up, Kevin! Thanks for coming in. Word up. How's your new job going? I know you were starting things this week, so hopefully it's going well. And thank you. We appreciate the share.
Absolutely.
Sharon! Thanks for coming in.
Welcome, foolish mortals.
And then we also have
Scotty J.
Scotty
Travel.
J.
Hello there.
Hey.
And we got a few people saying hi to one another, so that's all good. Excelente. Remember, if you're new to the chat here and you see some people that you're not familiar with, make sure you do that hashtag PKAT to share your link. We're really getting some feedback somewhere. And yeah, the hashtag PKAT for your link. And if you want a little special, on the scenic route notification, you can do hashtag onward. So. Yes. And I agree, Danny. We are so looking forward to it. Looking forward to it.
Where's that feedback coming from?
I don't know. Are you guys hearing anything on your side, Christine and CJ?
No,
Who's that other?
definitely sounds like something
It is.
local area.
All right. Well, we'll just go with it.
We're gonna go with it.
Yeah.
All right. So,
Blame it on the new Spectrum Cox cable venture that's about to take place in our area.
well, we could do that.
True. All right. So what's our topic this week, everybody?
We're doing RVing. Is this our last weekend for RVing?
No, we still have next
One
week.
more. Okay. So we're going to be covering RV storage and organization, which is Christine and I's favorite.
Well, I don't know. Christine likes to add things to the camper, which increases its weight.
But if you organize it, it's fine.
Oh, okay.
We're talking about organization, not weight.
I didn't realize that organized weight doesn't weigh as much.
It doesn't.
I guess. Welcome in, Hilda DC. Thanks for stopping by.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Right.
Oh, yes.
So yeah, it is so important to organize in your RV because most of the time you have very limited space. So everything has to have a place for organizing.
Yes.
Just like being interior cabin, guys. You know, you got to find a place for everything and make sure it's worth having.
We can't hear you again.
I don't know. I can hear me.
Okay.
Well, that's good. Sorry for the technical glitches, everyone. But yes, what if you guys didn't hear? CJ basically was saying treat it like an interior cabin on a cruise ship for those who are going
Because
cruising.
they're about the same size sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. So I think the first thing when it comes to organization is know what you actually need. You know, not just, oh, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that. I might use this once. I might or might not use that. That's not really going to work.
Devices with multiple functions are your friend.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So so I guess we could start organization on the inside, or do you guys want to start on the outside? Because the boys have to do the outside.
Well, while you're trying to figure that out, welcome in Angie Floaty Boaty.
Hey.
Hey, hey, hey. Well, we'll start on the outside because that's going to be like 5 minutes. Because you only got like one bin.
And the guys talk about their station. Pro tip: you can buy the whole set when you buy your RV.
Yeah, right.
In one fabulous shopping cart. I almost said golf cart.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't sell you a golf cart with an RV. I mean, some places will, but Ryan has much more, I think, stuff than I do. I feel like I have less things. So you are probably more prepared, and I'll come to you when I need something.
Yes. Well, when you think about it, part of RV ownership is dealing with mechanical issues, you know, and doing repair work. So as far as organization for me, I do have three types of organization. I've got 2 large bins, and then I have my toolkit. So what I have is I have kind of a wet box, if you will, which is where I'm going to organize anything for my water supplies with the different hoses that I need. And then we end up also in that one having, you know, filters, spare filters, replacement filters, multiple attachments because they're going to break on you. But having that organized in one tote, anything for my water supply, pipe wrenches, all that kind of stuff. Then in my other one is all my dry goods. So I'll keep that organized where I'll have all of my things like gloves that I'll need when I'm operating with the wet stuff. But, you know, you don't want to get those sticky because there's going to be humidity and residue that's going to be in the wet one. I also have in there a lot of my stoppers for the tires. I'll have my, you know, things for the fire pit in there. We have a little flag that we have in there. It's also where I might have some of our bigger things like the canvas that goes into the side of the RV attachment that gives us additional shape. And then I actually have my toolkit, and I have socket sets in there. I have multiple size screwdrivers, flat and Phillips. I have rubber mallets. I have a hard hammer. I have alien tape, Kevin. I have alien tape in there.
That's an
And then I'll also have like electrical tape, electrical connectors, alligator clips, and things like that. Measuring tape, spare batteries. And so for my organization, I want to try to have almost everything that I would need, but not in excess. So I'm not going to have, 5 flatheads and 5 Phillips heads. I'm going to have maybe one big flathead, one small flathead, and the same thing for Phillips.
How's that, Scott? You said the feedback was back.
Okay.
I
moved the microphone over and it seemed to help.
All right. So it could be us with the microphone. Hopefully this fixes it.
Yeah.
So my concept is pretty similar. I have a water tote, as I call it, and that is, again, you're right. That's everything that's water, related, utility wise. Then I have separate an electric tote. So that's any of my dog bones, connectors, fuses, which those you can never have too many extension cords, surge protectors of multiple amperage sizes, and so I keep each of those separate. But then my tools are a little different because I tend to keep my tools in my truck with a regularity. I mean, I have a small kit inside the camper for things, but my bigger stuff tends to ride with me in my truck all the time. So I don't store it in the camper quite the same way you do in that respect.
Yeah.
The one thing I definitely have is the manual crank for my power jack.
Yeah.
I have that. I definitely have that in my storage.
And I have no idea where mine went. And yeah, that's a whole nother snafu.
However, if you ever need an extension cord, Ryan's got 100 and a spare.
Yes.
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 You can always get an extra extension cord from Ryan if you need it.
Yep.
True.
He has all the extension cords because Mr. Griswold over here has to have an extension cord. I think I need to get an extension cord. I think I need an extension cord.
Okay, anyone who's out there, back me up. When you're a content creator and you need to have a mobile studio, but you're in Florida, so you also need power to get to your bug zapper. You also need power to get to your fans to do crossbreeds. You also need power to get to your wife's rope lights that go around the whole thing, in addition to power to run to your laptop, your iPad, and things like that. You need extension cords to split everything off.
You know what? Maybe what we should do is on the back of the campers, put a hitch on and pull one of those like construction zone generators.
Yes.
That would solve your extension problem.
But yeah,
Yes.
Ryan keeps it pretty organized. We have these because our bin's smaller, so we have these longer bins.
Mm-hmm.
So they're short, but they're long, and they fit and stack perfectly in there.
Yes.
Yeah.
What else do you keep in your basement besides those bins?
That's it. That's all we keep there.
Well, see,
Yeah.
we also keep our egg foam for when we have people
Yes.
staying with us on the couches.
Mhm.
We also
The
keep
table
our
leg.
table, our folding table underneath there. We keep some of our sewer stuff, like my spare hose that I have not ever used. I'll keep it in the underside there. The
My flagpole.
her flagpole, which I never ever remember to take out and put out until I'm all done. She goes, "Where's my flagpole?"
Well, it's for the bug zapper.
Yeah. And let's see, what else do we keep under there that's important? Oh, the power wrench for doing the outriggers.
Oh yeah.
That lives underneath there
Right.
as well in its own little spot. And I think that's about it. I probably could shove more stuff in there, but then it would start to feel cluttered and unorganized.
Mhm.
True. I guess one thing I should mention is I guess I have a double wet tote. I have one wet tote for
Bingo.
the potable clean hoses that bring water from the spigot to the RV. And then I have all of my black hose stuff in a separate one, so it does not even come close to cross-contaminating, because you definitely don't
That's a
want
good-
that stuff.
That's a good point. You know what?
We
I
keep
didn't
ours
mention
in a
that.
bucket.
Yeah, I keep all my black stuff or my waste stuff in a bucket, so that if I do accumulate potentially icky water, it's a really easy thing to get out and drain or spray out and clean if I have to, because I wouldn't want to soak a tote, cleaning it before I put it back in storage. That humidity is not good for the campers.
Right.
The waste stuff or black tank stuff definitely has to live separate and stay organized. You end up missing a piece of that, when you're in the middle of trying to do a dump, and that is not a pleasant experience.
No, it's not. No, it is not. So,
It's-
but that's pretty much our organization for our exterior related
Right.
items per se. So
the interior, so basically we have, well, it's going to pin up your setup, I believe. We have benches that are in our quote dining room second bed area, and we put stuff in there that is like to our grill that's on the outside. So we have our grill in one, and we have like some cooking stuff that we have in there. What else do we have in there?
we also have our Buccaneers foldable
Oh yeah, our table.
end table, as well as our deep stroller. If we're going to go, if we're parked somewhere and then walking distance to get to something we're going to do.
Oh well. Oh no, our wagon. That's our wagon.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The wagon.
You said stroller, but
Oh yeah, sorry.
so that's on one seat, and so the other seat we have are tables that actually came with the RV, and those are like portable tables that we use all the time. Go that way with it, away from the computer. So we have stuff that we don't need to access but one time, and when we set up, we get those out first, and then we have, and that's kind of our, because my RV versus I think yours, Christine, still has more storage, even though yours is bigger. You think more cabinets?
Yeah,
It-
maybe
but-
slightly.
But so with the newer rigs, they're starting to give you bins instead
Yeah.
of cabinet space. So you're not, not anything is a waste of space.
Right.
If that makes any sense. Like, I'm sure that there's a cabinet that you have that I don't have that's harder for you to get to or reach, or it's awkward, skinny, something like that. We don't have that because instead now they're giving totes. So we
Right.
6 totes with ours plus our storage.
Which are height and designed to fit
Fit underneath
our
your
additional beds, and in your
four
equivalent would be
couches. our couches.
let's say they'd go under your back couch.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that helps with weight too, so it keeps it lighter.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes, because it becomes removable storage.
Right.
Yeah. So our we have a pantry, and ours is not very wide, but is very deep. So we have, and it's enough to carry a week's worth of food for us.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have also a place, a dedicated space for our breakdown of our tables, or I'm sorry, not our tables, but or a second sleeping space. It's just a platform, so we have a dedicated space for our little platform. And then I have underneath the countertop space where I keep all my dishes and stuff like that. And then above, I keep all my medical stuff and the chemicals and all that stuff. And then I actually got, I added extra storage or shelving storage to our countertops where I put command strips. So I have a shelf that sits on our countertop so I can have a drop zone when we first come in. So you definitely want to utilize things vertically going up. It helps.
Mhm.
Yeah, we have hooks and clips, command style all over the place, whether it's for the keys when you come in, or where we hang the flashlight by the door, or stretch a cable across the ceiling like we're on a cruise ship.
Well,
Yep.
we both have like these like mesh baggies you can, or not baggies, but mesh
What?
pouches.
They're like cargo nets.
Or like
Yeah, cargo net.
that stick to the walls. I have had better luck than Melinda has. I don't know why. Because you were having problems with yours, kind of one side falling off or whatnot.
Yeah, it's because I wasn't using the alien tape at first.
Ah.
I still don't use the alien tape, and mine are still fine.
No. Mine, I think I put stuff in them too soon, and now they just don't work right. So I just got to take the time to do the command or the alien tape and then let them stick, because Ryan has no problem with a shelf that he's put up there and left alone and it's solidified to the wall or whatever it does, and he's had no problem.
Yeah, I let it sit a full 24 hours before putting any weight on it.
I have no patience, so.
And that's true. She put it on there and immediately started stuffing shoes and flip-flops and all of that crap in there. So,
well, yeah, I mean, that alien tape is pretty friggin' great.
No complaints from me.
No. What the night that I broke my ankle and CJ was alone at the camper, he hung photos with the alien tape for me.
I did all sorts
along
of
the walls,
cleanup.
and they haven't fallen at all. But we do use those cargo nets for remotes or extra phone chargers or whatever. So we don't have a table per se because we have a toy hauler. So we have 2 couches or beds side by side. Currently, we have 3 bins underneath. Tote bins, and the other one we usually keep folded up. And that's where we're able to store our tables, our chairs, whatever we need for outside.
And they're all strapped down because it's a toy hauler.
It's
So we have
hauler, so
we have hard
straps.
points. Hard points built into the floor all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really easy, especially with the retractable ratchet straps that we all got each other for Christmas. But those are pretty sweet, and so that's an easy process.
I want to stop and take a moment. Thank you, Kevin. Hooray for alien tape.
Hello.
well, welcome in, Law Jones. But yes, whoop whoop. Thank you. And you get just.
Gosh, that is so painful to see.
Well, you guys got to come up with some new ones.
People are going to start paying us to not show that.
But yes, thank you for that generous
Yeah, we
support there,
appreciate it.
Kevin. We really do appreciate it, sir.
Yes, thank you.
So command strips are your best friend, especially if you want to make sure you secure things to the walls, they don't slide.
Command strips are your best friend, but alien tape is your spouse.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, yeah.
So,
But I mean, it really does wonders. I mean, if you think about it,
You should get a sponsorship from them, as much as you mentioned the last
I
couple
know,
of
but I don't even remember how we found it. We found it researching something else.
I was researching it, and I saw these other vloggers had it, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go try that out.
Yeah. But I mean, I have an L-shaped little metal, shelving unit that you normally could drill, through to mount to the wall. That I literally put the alien tape on there, stuck it on there, and it can hold up to 35 pounds after it's sat. So I've got my CPAP on there that's got the water in it. I put my phone and stuff on there, and it has not moved an inch since I put it up there. I mean, it really is
And
some
that went
amazing
through
stuff.
the bouncy road of
It made it through Kissimmee Prairie.
Prairie.
So, I mean, it is very good stuff, and we've used it a lot for that. We've used it for the tower paper, holders, trying to put it up on the stuff that fell down. We're reusing that to get the hooks back up on the wall. So I think that's been, if I had to choose one item, that's been like a godsend for the RV and getting stuff up for organization. That's it.
And I like my shelf when as soon as you walk in, that I usually had in the bathroom, and then I decided to put it on the counter. Because I put all my stuff up there that I need to get to, all my coffee cups in the morning and stuff, just easy grab stuff.
Mm-hmm. So, just to kind of bring it back to where we started, like, what do you really need versus what you don't really need in the organization? It really does depend. Are you going to live full time in your RV or not? Because if you're not living full time in your RV, you don't need like a blender every week or,
Right. Just need an air fryer.
We bring our air fryer every time.
Well, we do because we've learned that when there's a burn ban, you can air fry it. It's pretty easy.
Yeah.
But there are some things that, people could take it too far. Oh, all this cute stuff gets presented to you from the get-go. Do you really need paper plates Plastic plate, probably not. Pick one.
Yep.
You know,
Either commit to doing dishes or commit
or
to burning. Commit to burning
dishes,
them.
It
right?
depends if I have sewage.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. If we have sewage right there at the site, we'll use our plates more because we can wash and then drain the gray tank
Gotcha.
Right.
and save paper plates for when we're in a place that's not
Yeah.
like that.
And most of the places we go have a sink available to us at the bathroom facility. So we've had no problem, going over there and doing dishes.
Mhm.
Mhm.
But we've recently turned into paper plate people.
You've
We
always
took
been.
our plastic
We-
plates
we-
out
we did.
and just started using paper and plastic. It's less weight and
It made more room for food in my
it
cabinets.
made more room for food in our
to not
cabinets,
have
yeah.
both with.
Right.
Well,
I
she
just-
does organization. Food organization is pretty much my job because, like Ryan, I'm the chef du jour.
Yeah. And like Ross said, simplicity is key. You know, we
100%.
the same like clothes. I have bins that go in our clothes cabinets, and if it doesn't fit in that bin, then don't bring it.
Yeah.
And at this, we have the same clothes that we kind of recycle. Dark.
It's like
clothes.
having a second. We treat it like it's a second.
Mhm.
If you had a second vacation home, you're not going to drag 3 or 4 suitcases. When you go there once a week, or once once a month for a weekend or something. You're going to leave a bathing suit there, and you're going to leave a few things, and we treat our clothes organization exactly that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And same with our pantry stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I have one coffee cup. That's my camping coffee cup. I only bring that
Yep.
up.
And it stays in,
And
when
it
it's clean and
stays-
dry, it stays in the
It stays
camper.
in the camper.
With the other dishes.
Right. So it does become a little more simplistic, and then when you're getting into that, when you have a little less things than like 5 coffee cups, for example, I know you guys have more shelves in your cabinets above the sink. We do not.
No, ours are just open squares, and I had to create shelving.
Yeah, so we
Yeah.
have our shelving, so we have more of a pantry spot.
Right. Looks like we do have someone new in here as well. I don't think I've seen you before, so welcome in, Mike from Nebraska.
Welcome to the party, pal.
But correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't recall seeing you popping in here before. So
Hey, Mike,
yes.
are you from Nebraska?
Wow.
I was curious. Is it a clever screen name, or is he from?
I'm just curious.
Yes.
He could totally not be from Nebraska.
Exactly. Like Steve from Long Island.
Maybe he started from Nebraska, but he lives somewhere else now.
Yeah. Or I think we saw one Tampa Homestead and came into Kevin's tuber chat, and I was right with him. I was thinking Tampa, Florida, but it was Tampa in a different state somewhere.
Right. Hey, boo boo.
So, but yeah, and I think when it comes to what you need, we're the same way. Trying to rewear shorts if you're only going to wear them for a couple hours, or if it's just a lounge day.
Well, we have
You
clothes
know.
bins. Like when we're done and we're coming home, we just take those bins out. We go wash. We pack that again, and then when we're ready to go again, we bring them back. That's it.
Yep.
Keeps it easy.
Camping videos are always going to have me in the same 4 t-shirts. Because, that's what I keep for a long weekend.
Right.
The Saturday, Sunday I need, and then if I get soaked in the rain or heaven forbid I get muddy, because I don't like to be dirty. But if I get muddy, that shirt's done forever. I mean, I might even burn it, forget washing it. I hate dirt.
Yeah. But I try to use totes and bins especially in the fridge. I do that in the fridge especially because I don't want things rolling around, because Ryan and I carry what's it called, a brittle water thingy?
Brita.
Brita.
Yeah,
A
Brita.
Brita water thing. So we have that, and then I have a container next to it that has food in it, and then I have a container, so it stays in one place.
Because we've noticed when you're driving, things tend to shift.
So you open your fridge very slowly so
Yes.
you can catch whatever's about to fall.
Yep.
Yeah, one person opens, the other person catches at the bottom.
Yeah.
Yep. And I guess it's another good thing is it's not really organization, but yet it is part of organization. And that is baby latches on like
Yeah.
every cabinet. Because even though the refrigerator has to click in, supposedly to hold it shut, it doesn't because we've gotten in there and ice has been all over the floor because the freezer opened up and everything went out because we hit a bump or something like
Or
that.
all your silverware is across the floor.
Yeah. So, taking that extra step and basically baby-proofing all of your drawers and cabinets.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when you're loading refrigerators or freezers, the heavier stuff goes on the bottom. Some people don't think about that, but the heavier it is, the lower it should be. The less shift and gravity
Shifting.
in as your CG envelope changes when you drive.
And speaking of refrigerator organization, we tend to eat a lot of the jack pulled pork or whatever.
Oh yeah, we love that.
And those containers, we don't microwave it in the container it comes in. We just use those containers as storage for the refrigerator.
Yep.
It holds our lunch meat or grapes.
Or whatever it might be.
Whatever it might
Yeah,
be.
if it's not in our Snackle Box.
The Snackle Box is great. The other one that I really find great when we have time to do it is Ryan found this awesome ice holder.
Mm-hmm.
And it's leveling up instead of wide. So you don't have like 3 or 4 ice trays. You have one just rectangle box, slides right in. It's a huge space saver.
Yep.
And then when you're done making your cubes, it goes right in the bottom of the box.
Yep.
So it doesn't take up any more or less room, which is great.
Yeah, that was a game changer that we found. The only thing to keep in mind is you don't have a residential freezer. So
Right.
it does take longer for that ice
Yeah.
to
It
form.
takes 3 days.
Sometimes,
It
yes.
takes 3 days.
what? Middle of July and August, sometimes that's how long it takes. Yeah.
Yes.
But I've had a single tray instead of stacking the 3 trays. When I'm already stopped, I've had a single tray freeze overnight. But
Yeah.
then again, it was March.
True.
Wasn't fighting the elements in that case.
Another great storage tip for the refrigerator is the handy dandy egg suitcase.
I know.
Yes.
I used to make fun of that stuff every time. I'm like, who needs to put their eggs in a suitcase? Just put them in a car. Nope.
Well, you're not coming and stopping the broken eggs everywhere.
I know.
because
I know.
They're
That really-
secured in their suitcase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cheap and it's effective.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Another thing Melinda and I both have that's really great is our collapsible storage containers.
Mhm.
Yep. I like little snap tops and stuff. So I like bringing all that stuff.
Yeah. And that's good too, on a chef side of things.
Right.
Are the collapsible bowls or the collapsible bins can also not only store easily, but then I can open up and I can marinate several steaks or pork tenderloin if I'm going to go crazy like that. But it's not only a space saver, but can double as a marination area too.
It's really good when you make chicken burritos.
Wait. You mean something akin to this?
Chicken burrito, chicken burrito, chicken burrito, burrito.
We
Yeah,
had
something like
Trademark.
that. Yeah.
we had beef and rice burritos today.
Yeah, like that.
But you can also put like I have a bunch of bowls in mine, so I put all the bowls in one. That's a great way to save space as well. So you got to think about things that will fit inside of other things.
Like,
Yeah.
don't be afraid to put things in your air fryer or in your microwave.
Yep.
If it fits, it's great.
Yeah, especially if it's like a one-time use thing. Now, speaking of chicken burritos, we ended up using the pressure cooker for that. So that basically sat in our sink because it was an open area and it's not something we normally bring. So we didn't already have another, allocated space for it. But right there in the sink was good. Kept it from rattling around, kept it from falling over. One-time deal and we're good. Wait, Scott. Uh-oh. You've got a burrito.
Oh boy.
All right, I'm gonna have to keep an eye out for that. And it's vastly different. Oh, did my creativity with Eddie's start to rub off on you? He was a Max Headroom.
Oh my god.
Awesome. No problem, Scott. Thanks for lurking and working, sir.
We get it. We get it. We've been there. We've done that.
I've done that quite often.
Yeah.
But
That's how go.
another thing I was thinking of, actually being in our RV, I've actually changed the way I've organized my stuff too
Oh yeah.
for a while. So at one point I had something that was in one place and I thought of a different place to put it so I can make room for something different.
Yeah,
So-
that does happen often where I find myself making a for them.
Yeah. Because I have a cabinet just for him for all his computer crap. And then I have a place to put all peachy stuff, and then I have a place to put my linens and stuff. So I have pretty much figured out after having a year exactly where I want everything to be.
I'd like to tag that to say mostly because she has reneged on my storage space
I did
once
not.
or twice and
Once.
told me to put it on
Once,
the
where
bed when she yelled at me that I wasn't putting it on the bed and told me that I need to put it in
Once.
the cabinet instead.
Once it happened one time. Jeez. One time.
Yes, I know. That happened to actually be when we were trying to figure out all spaces for the Instapot and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I also keep some cleaning supplies in our camper
Obviously.
because obviously everything's gonna get sandy, dusty, whatever. And things that I found the best is a shorter broom.
Yeah.
My little mini vacuum. I got the Homika, or generic Homika. It breaks into like 5 small pieces, so it fits in a bin plus my lights and a couple other things.
It's easier to lose one that way.
Yep. And then also the wet jet, if you ever need a wet jet, you can get that down to 3 pieces. Make that as well smaller for space.
You guys are breaking up again.
Oh, man.
Oh. Okay.
But
We're just having an IT issue, folks.
Yeah, we're
Overall, I'm
I
pretty
had said wet jet vacuum.
yeah, I heard that part.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, and the Homika broomstick that
Yes.
goes
Yes.
and breaks down into like 5 easy
easily
to lose
losable
pieces.
parts.
But it is wireless, so
Very nice. Very nice. Welcome in, Cruz Bolero. Thanks for stopping by.
okay.
Hello.
But yeah, I mean, you made the perfect example. You got to treat it like a cruise cabin because your space can be very limited. I mean,
And there's no
we're not-
laundry service or porter to come in and turn down.
No.
or empty your black tank.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And speaking of the water closet, don't be afraid to use your shower for storage.
Shower's a great place to store.
Shower is a great place. That's where our laundry is and
Yeah.
our shoes.
Keep our hamper as
That's
well.
where our hamper is. And if I'm bringing jugs of water for a longer trip or something, and I want to make sure I've got, something, a little Publix water or something like that, that's another good. They
It's a
sit in
great
there.
waterproof
It's a
place.
good waterproof place because heaven forbid one of them bangs around or decides to
I don't know,
get
explode and be water pouring out the back.
yeah.
It never happened to us. Never.
Yeah, we've never had that.
Never.
Yeah, so those live in the shower now.
Yeah. And it's funny because, it's like, oh, you got an RV and you got a shower in the RV. Why aren't you using it? Well, military shower is why. Because if you're going to shower in the RV, it's a military shower. But sometimes, especially in Florida in the summer, when you're just sweaty, you need a longer shower to kind of decompress and wash everything off. And it's just better for you to use the facilities there.
Look who made it in.
Mike!
Come on.
Right. Well, I mean, we're both organized people, so we can't. I don't know. Do you have anything else to contribute for organization?
I mean, yeah, there are spaces in our camper, for example, under the sink in the bathroom. Our first
I never
camper
had a sink in the bathroom.
doesn't have a sink in the bathroom. Ours does. It has a little cabinet underneath.
Where the piping is.
And when
for the
you look
record.
inside, you think there's nothing you could possibly store here because there's all this pipe. You know what?
Towels.
It's a perfect place for towels. It's soft. It cushions the pipe, whatnot.
Fits around them.
Mhm. Same thing with under the kitchen sink. You're gonna find that you have your hoses and stuff. So
Water lines and
Yeah.
drainage lines, and sometimes other aspects of the camper's
run right
system
underneath.
running right through
Right.
it. But it's still a good spot to make sure you're utilizing effectively.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Yep. As long as it doesn't compromise the integrity of the space. We've seen a lot of RVers, especially with our particular model too, because underneath our sink we don't really have space. There's like a tiny bit about that high, and then the rest is all enclosed. And like you guys said, people have actually cut into that and noticed that there's actually quite a lot of room down there. And if they just put a raised shelf, it provides one extra layer and then still stays off of the hoses and things like that. But I haven't wanted to dive into mutilating said RV underneath the.
I still got plenty of space.
I could never bring
Oh,
myself.
yeah, we do too.
I couldn't bring myself to mutilate my own RV either.
The other thing I say is, believe it or not, Dollar Tree is your best friend
Yeah.
because you can, like if you had a medicine cabinet in your bathroom, which again we do this time, but hadn't before. Those cabinets are very, very skinny. And again, like opening the refrigerator, you open that door, everything falls out. But if you take a Dollar Tree bin,
Yeah, it's 3 inches.
like a pencil holder
Like,
thing,
pencil holder style, 3
and you
inches
just
wide.
put stuff in there, boom, nothing falls out anymore. And then you don't have to worry about these rods, they sell camping rods. All those things get expensive and add up.
And add a lot more weight. than
And
just the
weight.
plastic.
So a cheap plastic bin from the dollar store, you got 2 for $1.
Yeah.
Really holds more than you think.
To his and hers.
Yep, definitely. And for newbies, when it comes to organization, the go-to, and we were the same way, the go-to is RV storage this, RV storage that, RV organizer. You add that to the front of any product, and you're easily paying 20 times more than you probably really do.
There's a markup.
And everything's shiny and new and exciting. But really, you after you buy those things, you learn. And I didn't really need that. I needed this instead.
Yeah.
Our best example was camping chairs.
Mm.
Ryan and Melinda have one style camping chair. They take everywhere. I have like 6. Which one's going to get me most comfortable when I'm camping?
The 0G every time, baby.
Yep, we went ahead. Mel had the gift certificates, and they were on sale when we were there. And we were like, you know what? If we're going to use it a lot, let's just get the good ones. And we sank the money into those 0Gs with the little.
And those we store in our truck.
Yeah. And
so they're always with us.
They're great. I do not regret for a second getting those.
Because I like keeping them in my truck because if it's in the rain or something, then we can just pop the back of the truck open and just pop them in there. And that way, when it stops raining, we can just pop it back out.
Oh, I mean, once we get it out of the camper, that's what we do at night.
Our
We'll
nighttime
just throw 'em in
storage.
the back of the truck and pull 'em back out.
Yeah, if we're worried about it being a little moist overnight or any type of precipitation, we'll store them in the truck too at that point. That's a good trip because then you're not tripping over them inside. That's because there's a different level of organization when you're moving from point A to point B versus while you're actually there's a functional versus a storage aspect. A storage of storage.
And if you haven't heard before, because everybody's been talking about it for a little while, the Snackle Box is the best thing since sliced bread for camping. road tripping, cruising, you name it. It organizes all your little snacks exactly the way you want it, and a little handle for on the go. I use that, and I have a little mini, again, not neighboring bog bag that CJ hates, but I think it's great. It holds water, whatever. It's so light and easy, and we just can keep it in. We can move it. Truck, camper, camping table. There you go.
Look, it's a snackle box.
There is.
I actually had
Oh
mine.
my God,
too.
it's got snacks in it
got
too.
snacks.
That's leftover from Miami.
Yeah.
I'm so jealous because mine is empty and lonely right now.
I'll fill it up this weekend for you.
Yeah.
See, I got dots. I got chocolate, crackers, nuts, and chocolate
Yeah. This was our Snackle Box
for Miami.
for Miami, and it was down to what we had in the house. So yeah, mixed nuts, chocolate, the honey mustard dots, pretzels.
That thing is amazing. I don't care where you're traveling or if you're going to be in a car for more than a couple hours. Absolutely.
And they have.
Yep.
It's almost like the snack size Pringles,
Yeah.
You can't put
Yeah.
Pringles in here.
and Pringles fit perfectly in there.
The only thing would make it better if these were dishwasher safe.
Yeah.
I would, but you put
Good chance it. I'm not going
on
to.
the top rack.
No, you'll melt them. Trust me.
Trust us. This might be the second Snackle Box we've owned.
Oh.
Uh,
Well, you know, you could just pop the inserts. But
Yeah.
on a Snackle Box side note, they are making them half the size. So now you could take them to the Windjammer, fill them up with your little snacks, and sneak them right off the ship with you so you have lunch to go.
Wow.
But we are not condoning
No.
violating the health
I
organizational rules when going ashore.
Recommend it
Never
either.
recommend that.
Just things that we've seen occur is all we're discussing.
Yep, I've
Yeah.
seen other people snagging apple. Just saying,
Yeah. Or whatnot.
or whatnot.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, that also is a really good one. And we'll go back and forth depending on what we're doing. A lot of the times, if it's going to stay in the car, like when we go do these tours on the cruise ships and sitting in the car all day, it's going to be non-perishable items. But
right.
if we are thinking about eating on the way down there and then we're going to refill something, then what we'll end up doing is maybe doing our own little charcuterie board with the hams and stuff like that.
We do a lot of food.
Yeah, we tend to do a lot of wild strawberries, blueberries.
I love berries.
The dots pretzels are always banging. Those are always good.
Those are really good, especially the mustard ones.
Specifically the
Not the mustard ones.
not mustard ones.
Specifically the mustard ones, the greatest ones.
No, they are not. They're clearly not. You can't go wrong with original.
I like a little spice, so.
Okay. So do a little cinnamon and sugar. There's some spice.
Those are
there.
good.
I like those too.
Those are good. Mm-hmm.
What you doing, Dave?
Somehow the reactions got turned off. Now
Oh no!
it should work.
Ah.
Yeah, see? Now they work. That's somehow the reactions were probably when we upgraded
Never
phones.
worked for us.
Yeah,
Probably.
we're on the wrong
But-
device.
I mean, if anybody's got any other recommendations, because if you want to see how we truly lived, at least in our RV, we have a whole video. We did a very, very complex, well, not complex, but very detailed
Deep dive.
deep dive of our RV. And you guys, once you're feeling up to it, you got to do something similar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm thinking I'm going back to the scene of the crime soon.
Okay. You might as well get back on that horse. Or not that right.
And maybe that weekend I may try to do some organization, because that is another tip I really would like to say. Even with traveling with guests, we've had some guests who can't get organized. Next weekend after Memorial Day, we are camping with guests. While I'm still on a walker and in a wheelchair,
Simultaneously.
simultaneously.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Really, we cannot stress enough
The need for organization.
the need for organization. Like, pull out your label makers, like, organize that stuff because otherwise you're never going to fit in your camper with guests and a walker and a wheelchair. And I'm telling you,
I could stay home.
we will be able to fit comfortably because we are so organized.
That's true. No,
And that's a side point or a side thing to that is involve everyone with the packing and organization.
Mhm.
So that way everyone basically knows the plan, has responsibilities, share the wealth of keeping it nice and clean.
But they say misery loves company.
So
That's right.
one of the things I love about this new tote system that they put in the new campers is now when I have guests, I give them a tote and I say, if it doesn't fit in here,
You're not bringing
you're not bringing it.
Nah, that's funny.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because even though theoretically 2 more people
Can fit in ours.
can fit into ours, nah.
Nah.
It only could have happened one time.
Yeah.
First weekend that you brought it home and met us at the Florida Caverns, we probably could have slept in there with you instead of the car that night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we hadn't already had the car all set up, and we would have. But that was the only time there was nothing. There was enough nothingness in your
Yeah.
camper to actually feasibly do it.
Yes.
Yeah, because there was nothing in there.
But I can't even fathom how claustrophobic it would feel
With
if
four,
the 4 of us tried to do an actual weekend, even a weekend, let alone a lengthy one, 5-6 days, with 4 of us in that space. Because I know ours is 22 feet, but that's from bumper to tongue. There's probably only about 17 feet.
usable.
Yeah, only about 17 feet of usable space.
Well, you guys also have a skinny center.
Yeah, I was gonna say you have that choke point in the middle of yours, based on how your bathroom and counters are built.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That I think that would be the toughest part to try and do multiple in yours.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ryan and I have gotten used to it. We've been able to manage to go around each other. But
Just
yeah,
like-
Sometimes it's just like this.
it pretty much get out of my way.
Or
He uses this in
I had priority.
Or can you just go in the bathroom so I can get by?
Just go in the bathroom. Just go back there until I'm done.
Oh, that's love.
But we definitely are outgrowing our RV very soon here.
Yeah. We're starting to slowly eyeball trucks because that's got to be the first thing before we upgrade.
But we I definitely do not regret buying this one because we learned so much on it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
obviously
We had our first one until the hurricane destroyed it.
your organization is going to change with every RV.
Yeah.
True.
Very much.
Your layout's going to be different.
And something that I learned for anybody who is interested in buying an RV, and I think we've mentioned this before, but we met a woman while we were camping, and she said, "Oh no, this is our first RV," and it was huge. And I said, "Well, what made you decide to buy such an RV?" She said, "Well, I was told pick your second RV first."
Yeah.
So you're already growing into your RV.
Right.
Yeah. Find what suits your needs, and then take a small step bigger, as if it would have been
Been your second
your
RV.
upgrade or your second, if you're fiscally able to do so. That's not always.
No,
you know,
it's not always the case.
for independently wealthy folks like them, it may be very.
We're not.
You know,
They were very. They had like a nice.
And we honestly might have followed that if we already owned a truck. But we were focusing primarily on we have a Telluride. We need something that can pull with the Telluride.
Right. Yeah. That's true.
Had we had a truck, yeah, we probably would have gone bigger right off the bat.
Yep, it's true. You're right. Both of our first choices, class of choices, were governed by our tow vehicle at the time.
Yeah.
But it got us started.
It did.
Did.
Out of somewhere. Yep.
And we've learned a lot.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
you know, it's just been over a year since we've had our respective.
Yep.
Well,
1
Yeah.
year.
for you guys, for them, definitely. I mean, it's been a year of ownership. It's just not the same. For us,
Right, I
you
know.
know.
Yeah, we got ours on May the 4th be with you. We literally picked it up on May the 4th.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And we technically got ours Even though we didn't bring it with us to the first time you came camping, we actually
The week before.
the week like a couple days before, right? The Wednesday
Yeah,
or something like that.
Wednesday
I
before.
think we
but
got ours
only
on like
because-
Wednesday the 1st or something like
But
that.
only because we got ours in state and you guys got yours out of state. So you had to plan.
Yeah, we would have gotten it 3 weeks earlier, but the first deal fell through and all
Right.
of that.
And then
stuff,
we
but-
had to go drive and drop my
Yeah,
chapstick.
yeah.
Well, it's probably pretty important to let people know what's happening in
November.
November at this point here, sir.
Yes, I was getting ready to say, see, you're right there, CJ, because I was getting ready to say, well, we're getting near the end. So, yes, coming up in November, and we still have our deal going on at least until I think it's July 25th. But here's a little more info for you.
Are you ready to escape the everyday? Then mark your calendars for November 22nd, 2025, because you're cordially invited on the cruise of a lifetime. We're sailing on the brand new MSC World America, the first MSC ship built just for the U.S. market. This ship is massive, modern, and packed with next-level fun. We will be departing from Miami, Florida, and the first stop is Roatan, Honduras. Has a lot of lush rainforest, but trust me, the snorkeling is the best. Next up is Costa Maya, where you can explore Mayan ruins, or our favorite, a secluded, all-inclusive in the jungle. Next up, Cozumel, a true Caribbean classic with the beach clubs, or helmet diving. Last but not least, we stop in Ocean Cay, MSC's private island in the Bahamas with white sparkling sandy beaches and a lighthouse. And here's the best part, group rates are still way under current prices, but not for long, so make sure you act fast before these prices are gone. Cruise how you want, chill, explore, or go full throttle. Or hang out with Ryan and Melinda from PK Adventure Travels. We'll be right there with you having the time of our life. Book now and make Thanksgiving 2025 unforgettable. And we will see you on the scenic route.
Whoop, whoop. I have something that I learned. I have to give it to Tinkerbell. She was able to get Cassidy, who's a business development manager for MSC, for Expedia. And she does both her office and our office. And we've talked to Cassidy a lot of times. She was the one that got it on the World America tour. But when we were on the World America, we didn't have the opportunity to tour any cabin. Just for whatever reason, I guess there were just too many of us. And so that wasn't part of the deal. But we found out that the infinite ocean view window, yes, it's a floor to ceiling window. However, it's not a solid window. If you're familiar with the icon with the infinity balconies, it is a floor to ceiling window that has a button that then opens and it becomes a balcony. That is actually what the infinite windows are on the MSC World America. And Mel and I picked it because we thought we just wanted to experience the first one, not knowing that it is an actual opening window. So you get the extra interior sitting room space with the convenience of either a floor to ceiling window or opening it and having a balcony. So I cannot wait. We have one of those rooms left. And then we have about 5 interiors left, and I think maybe 4 or 5 balconies left. So if you want to go on it with us, then definitely get in touch with us. We can get you confirmed and booked for this November, and you don't have to cook for Thanksgiving.
So I guess we can just
I
wrap.
wasn't gonna anyway. I think I'm calling Cracker Barrel.
I don't know. They keep raising their prices.
That's true. That's true.
Might
Price-
as well go on a cruise.
Yeah.
Dinner
Right.
for
With
14 or
us.
cruise and leave them home. Tempting. So.
Yep. All righty. Well, with that being said, yeah, I think that brings this week to a close on organization. So we'll have one more in our RV for the month here of May, which is next week. And I'm feeling a little giveaway-ish. So I think the last week of every month should become a PKAT giveaway. What do you guys think?
Sure.
Sure.
We got the product.
Yeah.
There you go. So we'll do that next week. Since it's the last week of the month, will also be a prize pack giveaway. So be there if you want a chance to win some PKAT swag.
Well, look who's coming in.
Yeah, so welcome in Fuzzy Adventures and More. Thank you so much. Whoop, whoop. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep, I think there's another one group happening. So, but yes, so yeah. Thanks everybody for again tuning in. I love you guys. Thank you so much for the support. We will catch you next week with Dream Vacation. I think is what it is. Dream is next week's topic with a giveaway. So stay safe, and as always, we will see you next time on
The scenic route.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.